Hi there, I'm Kristi and welcome to my YouTube page. You might be wondering who I am and why I'm doing this. The answer to both is, I don't really know. I just thought I'd add to the wondrous podcast content on YouTube. I mean, anything I do has got to be better than that, right? One of the topics I want to do for this podcast is analyzing TV show relationships. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to start with probably one of the most controversial couples, Ross and Rachel from Friends. And before I get into it, I just want to give a little disclaimer because I know people are very opinionated about this topic and, well, most topics. Just know that everything I say is based on my opinion and I probably will say things that some people won't agree with, which is fine. We don't have to agree and we can talk about those differences without getting offended. My views are based on my experiences in life and my social work background. This is just a discussion. Sit back and enjoy. Okay, let's do this. So I grew up in the 90s and this show was a huge part of pop culture and my childhood. My mom watched it. I remember watching it as a kid. Ross and Rachel's relationship and breakup was big news. So many people joked around about whether they were on a break or not. But then you have the people that maybe take it a bit too seriously. I feel like you can really tell a lot about a person based on the way they react to Ross. I really want to emphasize that this is just a show. Everything Ross and Rachel do is because it was planned and written by the writers, producers, and so on. So much of their breakup relies on plot convenience, which is where I take it a little less seriously. However, these situations and scenes do represent real problems and real emotions. So it is interesting to analyze them, especially through a social work or therapy lens. I want to take a look at their relationship as a whole, not just their breakup. So real quick, for those who don't know or need a refresher, Ross and Rachel have known each other since childhood, and they went to high school together with Ross's sister Monica. Ross had a crush on Rachel then, and the show starts with him still having a crush on her.
See, I see big passion in your future.
Really? You do?
I do.
Oh, Ross, you're so great.
It's never gonna happen.
This is a major plot of the first season, and they eventually start dating in season 2. The real problems don't start until Rachel gets a new job in season 3, and this is when things start to unravel. Now let's look at their romantic relationship and the many problems they had. Their breakup goes far beyond whether or not they were on a break. It always kind of bothered me that the break element was the only part that people focused on, but I get it, it's a sitcom, not a therapy session. Their real problems involved Rachel's new work-life balance and Ross's jealousy and controlling behavior. Rachel works at the coffee house up until season 3, where she quits and gets a new job at Bloomingdale's.
My mom calls it Bloomies.
I think this is great. It's an amazing opportunity for her to have a job she cares about and that will push her forward. I don't agree when Ross says it's just a job.
It would be nice if you'd realize that it's just a job.
I'm totally on Rachel's side here. It's not just a job. Working at Bloomingdale's is a life-changing event for Rachel that can lead to a career, and Ross could be more supportive of that. This was in the 90s, so I do think there was still a stronger stereotype about women not working or having careers through Ross's reaction here. Even back then, I was like, no way, no man telling me that I can't work or have a career.
Ross, do you realize this is the first time in my life I'm doing something I actually care about? This is the first time in my life I'm doing something that I'm actually good at? I mean, if you don't get that...
Oh, hey, I get that, okay? I get that big time, and I'm happy for you, but I'm tired of having a relationship with your answering machine, okay? I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, neither do I.
Is this about Mark?
Oh my God.
Okay, it's not.
Oh my God. I cannot keep having this same fight over and over again, Ross. No, you're making this too hard.
Oh, I'm making this too hard. Okay, what do you want me to do?
I don't know. Look, maybe we should just take a break.
Okay, fine. You're right. Let's take a break. Let's cool off, okay? Let's get some frozen yogurt or something.
No. A break from us.
Though I do think there is an importance of maintaining a healthy work-life balance. Is it fair that Ross has plans that she frequently cancels because she's working? Maybe not. Though they start fighting as soon as she gets the job interview. So she's not even working there yet before he starts getting jealous and controlling. It's not really about her job. He's jealous of Mark.
What did I do to you? Did I hurt you in some way?
What?
Why don't you call him? Well, thank you very much. Now he's gonna prep her. Prep her as in what you do before you surgically remove the boyfriend.
Are you crazy?
Oh, am I? Am I out of my mind? Am I losing my senses? This dreamy guy is taking my girlfriend out for a meal.
Ross, this isn't even about you. I mean, this is about Rachel and something wonderful happening for her. I mean, even if you're right, what if he wants to sleep with her? Does that mean he gets to?
No,
I mean, don't you trust her?
well, yeah.
Then get over yourself. Grow up.
Ross is really emotional here and controlling. And side note, this is a TV writing thing. You can have a character pretty much do or say whatever as long as there's another character opposing it. This behavior is very extreme and exaggerated, and it's also setting up them fighting and taking a break. It's taking the plot in the direction that it needs to go. But looking at it from a more real-life view, and I'm speculating here, but maybe Ross feels like the relationship is threatened. Maybe he liked the comfort of her always being around at the coffee house, and he was able to see her on his own time. And what if the roles were reversed?
If what I do is so lame, then why did you insist on coming with me this morning? How was it so I just wouldn't go with Mark?
No. I wanted to be with you. I don't know, I feel like lately, you're slipping away from me, with this new job and all these new people and got this whole other life going on. I know it's dumb, but I just hate that I'm not a part of it.
It's not dumb. But maybe it's okay that you're not a part of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, I like that you're not involved in that part of my life.
That's a little clearer.
Honey, see, it doesn't mean that I don't love you. Because I do. I love you. I love you so much. But my work, it's for me, I'm out there on my own and I'm doing it. And it's scary, but I love it because it's mine. But, I mean, is that okay?
Sure.
So what's important here is trust. If he trusted Rachel, he wouldn't feel threatened by Mark or her career because he would know that she's not going to cheat on him and that he will be with her along this new journey in her life. But the trust isn't fully there, which I'll get into later. I feel like this is something Rachel really cares about, and at the beginning, yes, maybe it's okay she puts more attention into her work. But again, it's not fair to ignore all your other responsibilities or relationships, which I'm not saying Rachel was doing, but just generally speaking, work-life balance is a real issue some couples experience.
1, 2, 3, congratulations on your first week at your brand new job. It won't be long before you're the boss.
I want to go back to this scene. This kind of reminds me of love bombing. He might not be trying to manipulate her, but there's definitely a motive behind this.
I'm hurt. I'm actually hurt that you would think I would send you any of those things out of anything other than love. Hurt. Hurt.
All right, Ross, I get it.
I mean, my
You're
God,
hurt.
can't a guy send a barbershop quartet to his girlfriend's office anymore?
Please, Ross, it was so obvious. It was like you were marking your territory. I mean, you might as well have just come in and peed all around my desk.
The other problem in their relationship was obviously Ross's jealousy and controlling behavior. Something I noticed throughout the show is that Ross is very controlling of Rachel, specifically with her romantic life, before, during, and after they date. Ross sabotages multiple dates. Twice he hides phone messages. There's the date with Mark.
I knew it. I always knew she liked him. You know, she'd say no, but here we are, right? We just broke up. First thing she does.
You didn't just break up.
Hey, it's been like 3 weeks.
You slept with somebody 3 hours after you thought you broke up. I mean, bullets have left guns slower.
And there it is, the hypocrisy.
Here they come. Oh, if she kisses him goodnight, I'm gonna kill myself. I swear. I can't watch. Come on, date over. Oh, here we go. She's going in.
Okay.
She's going in. Wait, he's going in. He's going in. The door's closed. I can't see anything with the door closed.
And the inventor of the door rests happily in his grave.
Okay, I have to do something. I mean, I have to stop it.
Stop what?
I don't know, but I have a feeling that my being there will do it. I'll go over and I will borrow something. Juice! I need juice.
No,
Hey,
you
get
can't.
off. It must be stopped.
I am your friend, and I am not gonna let you do this. You are surprisingly strong.
I need juice. People need juice.
Look, man,
People need juice.
listen to me.
Juice they need.
This scene is hilarious, though I agree this behavior is a bit obsessive and concerning. This is a sitcom, it's supposed to be funny and exaggerated, but these are real feelings. Jealousy is real, fear of being cheated on is real, though people need to understand it's not our place to control someone else. You can be jealous and also accept that something is over. See, I love this. Chandler being a good friend, being there for Ross and not letting him make dumb decisions. That's what friends are for.
She's moving on, okay? If it's not this guy, it's gonna be somebody else. And unless you're thinking about subletting my peephole, you are gonna have to get used to the fact that the relationship is over. Okay, man? It's over.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's just I miss her so much.
I know.
But he's right, Ross does need to accept the relationship is over for now, and he's still allowed to feel the way he feels, but also not his place to sabotage Rachel's date or control who she dates or her career. Again, not the only time he does this.
Well, God, in your ad you said you were pretty, but wow.
What are you doing?
Oh my God, is this the wrong day? I don't believe it. Well, hey, I guess if it works out, we'll have something to tell the grandkids.
You sure will.
Right?
I've gotta go.
All right. Okay.
Take care.
Okay. See you later. Nice meeting you. You're welcome.
What?
I was saving you.
Save me from the pleasant conversation with the interesting man?
Oh, see, from where I was sitting...
Okay, Ross, listen to me. I am not yours to save.
Then there's the date when she's pregnant and he immediately starts dating Mona.
Okay. Have a great time, you guys.
Thank you.
And yes, it is too slutty!
I hate this so much. I don't hate Ross for it. I dislike the writers for it. It is very sexist. He criticizes Rachel for having a date, obsesses over it all night, and then in the same episode, moments later, he picks up Mona.
Ross?
Yeah?
Hey, it's Mona from the wedding.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Wow. How are you?
I'm good, except you still owe me a dance.
I don't like it, but it's TV. They only have 21 minutes to progress the plot, and sometimes that leads to scenes like this. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm fine. Totally fine. I'm fine.
Besides plot convenience, Ross's issues stem from his relationship with Carol. They met in college and got married, and then divorced because Carol is a lesbian and in love with someone else. It does seem there's some emotional pain there when Ross divorces Carol.
Wow. Carol really messed you up.
Excuse me?
Yeah, she turned you into this untrusting, crazy, jealous sycophant. Alright, so I don't know what sycophant means, but the rest is right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am not a crazy, jealous person.
Huh.
What?
She's totally right. When we were together, you got all freaked out about Mark and there was nothing going on.
It totally makes sense.
It does not.
Oh, sure it does. In high school, you weren't jealous at all, even though all your girlfriends were cheating on you.
All right, so up until 92, 93, he was very trusting. Then 94 hit, Carol left him, and bam, paranoid city.
Yep. Absolutely.
This is so much fun.
This is not fun.
I feel like that does provoke some empathy for Ross. I'm not excusing his behavior, but this does give some explanation for why he was cheated on in the past. He thought he was going to spend the rest of his life with Carol. Those are real feelings, and I have 100% seen this in real life. Being cheated on does make people of all genders more jealous and controlling. Again, I'm not excusing anything. This doesn't give people a free pass to act like a jerk, but from a therapeutic perspective, this is where you would want to really analyze things. This is one of Ross's core issues that is impacting his behavior and his relationships. Now let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the break. So, were they on a break? Is Ross a cheater? In my opinion, that's a yes and a no. I wouldn't say Ross cheated on Rachel. They clearly state they are on a break.
Look, maybe we should just take a break.
Now, that doesn't mean I don't have some opinions here. Personally, I think when someone is in a serious relationship like theirs and they get in a fight, the appropriate response isn't to jump into bed with someone else. If you fight with your partner and your reaction is, yes, finally, I can sleep with other people, then there's bigger problems going on there. That wasn't the situation with Ross and Rachel. It was a bunch of specific details created by the writers that led to all that happening, mainly having Mark come over to Rachel's apartment and Chloe throwing herself on Ross all night. Why would that even happen? Why would Mark be calling Rachel when he knows it's their anniversary? And why would he come over to her apartment? I don't know. I personally thought that writing was a little forced, but again, it's plot convenience. Ross has to hear Mark in the background on the phone in order for him to get more upset. I don't blame Ross for what he did. He was upset. He had been drinking, became more upset when he calls Rachel. He thought the relationship was over, and he just wasn't thinking. He wasn't womanizing. Also, if Chloe from the coffee place wasn't hitting on him all night, this wouldn't have happened. She very much pushes herself on him, and he's been drinking. So, come on, give him a break.
Oh, honey, look, he just came over.
Yeah, got it.
Imagine if Ross said that they should take a break, and imagine if it was Rachel and Mark at the bar, and he was hitting on her while she was drunk, and then took her home. That would be SA. Of all the guys out there, Ross is least likely to cheat. I do think if I was in this situation with someone like Ross, I could forgive and forget the sleeping with another woman while on a break a lot easier than the jealousy and the possessiveness. But them breaking up was plot convenience. It was for views. There's a rule in television to keep main couples from dating because as soon as they do, views go down. So them breaking up was always going to happen, and then the writers do the will they, won't they for the rest of the show. Also, it's interesting how Joey is a womanizer throughout the entire show, and no one says anything about that. But Ross sleeps with one woman once, and it's like he's the scum of the earth.
I had this date last night. Yuck. But we should probably keep it down. She's still in the bedroom.
Also, I wanted to mention the beach house and the letter Rachel writes.
18 pages. Front and back!
It's obviously exaggerated, but it's ridiculous. She expects him to read 18 pages at 5 a.m. and her expecting him to take full responsibility for everything that went wrong in their relationship. I mean, generally speaking, this is not healthy. We can all agree he has a lot of issues, but Rachel isn't problem-free here. They aren't an abusive couple. They're not toxic or codependent. So when a couple fights like they did, it's up to both sides to take responsibility and communicate about their individual problems and figure out how to balance their needs. I don't agree with the note. Again, imagine if the roles were reversed. I think the writers did this to help balance them out a bit, and again, plot convenience. They have to break up again, and there has to be a reason for the plot to go that way. This was a cliffhanger for season 3.
She wants me to take responsibility for everything that went wrong in our relationship. I mean, she goes on for 5 pages about how I was unfaithful to her. We were on a break!
Oh my God, if you say that one more time, I'm gonna break up with you.
Fine, but this breakup was not all my fault. And she says here, if you accept full responsibility, I can begin to trust you again. Does that seem like something you can do? Does it?
No?
I'm actually a bit put off with how some people react to these episodes, specifically towards Ross. I have heard many really negative things about Ross. Like, he's the worst character ever written. He's awful. He's a cheater. And it's kind of ridiculous because it's just a character on a show. And I'm sure David Schwimmer gets hate for it too, which is not okay. It's not real, and people are projecting their issues and insecurities. I'm like, do you need a screen for that projection? Some people get too emotionally attached to fictional characters. I certainly don't want to minimize anyone's relationship problems or even trauma. Yes, Friends is a sitcom, but Ross can represent actual serious issues in relationships that aren't just little jokes for a show. They're actually serious. I can't imagine what it's like to be with someone for years, thinking you're in a monogamous, loving relationship, to then find out that they've been sleeping with other people or that they're in love with someone else. And I'm so sorry if that has ever happened to you. That pain is real, and you have every right to your feelings. I don't think that's what happened with Ross and Rachel. There's different intentions. It was a drunken misunderstanding after a fight, and he immediately regretted it and genuinely wanted to get back together. I don't think everyone's relationship problems are the same. People have different definitions of what cheating is, and it's a spectrum. It's not black and white. I did some research and found an article that suggests that people don't like Ross because they see his negative traits in themselves and in their partners. Oh, yes. I'm like, do you need a screen for that projection? It says the character is fundamentally insecure And Ross is an exaggerated version of our insecurities in many ways. And whilst no one is perfect, Ross reminds us that of this in quite a confrontational way. That is an interesting way to put it. In a confrontational way, I do agree he can be a bit extreme and overdramatic.
Front and back!
But again, that is to make the show more funny. But again, if this was happening in real life, that would be kind of concerning. So yes, I agree that Ross's character has problems. What character doesn't? Rachel sure as hell isn't perfect. Ross can be possessive and has anger issues, but the intention of the writers wasn't to create some evil, vindictive, malicious character. It's a sitcom. A lot of it is supposed to be funny, though there's a lot of sexism in the show that goes beyond Ross. We all know the show hasn't aged well, and a lot of the jokes were more normal in the 90s, but now some of it is just cringy. Also, another point I wanted to make is that this show was created and ended before streaming ever existed. I'm sure back then, no one intended for shows to be binge watched, and I feel like you can see negative patterns far more when binge watching versus watching one episode a week and then waiting months or a year for the next season to come out. This is going to come up in some of the other couples I want to cover, like Scully and Mulder from the X-Files, which I know they're technically not a couple, but I still can't wait to do that one. It's okay if you don't like him. It's okay if you don't like the show Friends. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's perfectly fine, and it's as simple as that. You don't have to like it just because other people do. And if you liked it back in the 90s, you don't have to like it now. Watch what makes you happy, and let others watch what makes them happy. We all can accept that Ross and Rachel are fictional characters on a sitcom where traits and situations are often exaggerated for humor and for views. Though, in Ross's defense, I will say he has a lot of scenes that I think are legit funny.
O is for... Oh, wow!
And I think David Schwimmer is one of the stronger actors on the show.
What are you doing? Get off my sister!
Alright, I think that's where I'm going to end it. I'm not sure how often I will post these. I do have the next episode all planned, and it's a video I've been wanting to do for a while now, reacting to my worst Etsy reviews. So let me know if you have any questions or thoughts, or if there's any other TV couples you want me to cover. Alright, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.